know, they don't do it like this no more.
Legacy, legacy, legacy. You know it's all about that. Legacy, legacy, legacy.
What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a mid-taper curl sponged afro for my client's big prom day. First off, we're gonna grab a pointed hair pick and we're gonna make sure that all of the area that we're gonna be tapering is all picked out. We're moving straight to the trimmers, laying down our first bald guideline with our T-shaped recharge trimmers, and then we're following up with punching in that 0.5 guideline with the Gamma Instincts lever open. We're gonna go up about a 1/4 inch from the first guideline using those corners to keep it tight. You wanna make sure that you're brushing, making sure that the angle is going very consistent and laying against the grain. And then that's when I follow up with my one guard, going with the grain to debulk that area to prepare it for just fading and blending. And so I like to turn that around and go against the grain, continuing to brush always. And then I flip it around, use my corners with the lever open on my Gamma Instincts to just detail that taper. Now we're taking a kind of brief intermission right here because, you know, it's his prom day. I wanted him to smell good. I found out he didn't have any cologne. So of course I blessed him with a bottle to take with him of my own collection. And then, yeah, we continue with our blend here, and we're doing the same thing. I like to use, you know, my corners, and I like to go with the grain, and I want to make sure that I'm brushing and making sure that the hair is flowing in the way that it needs to bring this blend all together. All right, you're gonna see me doing a lot of blending and using my comb and going between my comb and my brush because, you know, you're gonna use the comb for different things. So as you can see right here, I'm using my 1.5 guard, and I'm making sure I knock down that bulk, also ensuring that it doesn't go too high. And this is all detailing here. My lever's closed with no guard there, and, you know, I was just using it to kind of take the edge off of where the top of the bulk is. Blending and doing these type of cuts require a lot of detail, so you see me doing that there. As I'm punching in my trimmer line, I like to punch in at the top of the arch, and then I follow up by etching in from the bottom towards the front of the arch. I use some spritz here, and then I blow dried it on cool for a few seconds. This is my favorite part of the lineup right here, especially after I hit it with the spritz. Man, that thing just hit like a laser after that. Speaking of lasers, these T-shapers I'm using right here, they hit sharp and they smooth as butter, plus they got a detachable battery. I'm gonna leave the full review in the end card for you guys to check out. All right, guys, this is called a razor comb. It has two sides. I'm using the shortest side, which is the 1.5, to go with the grain to define the taper. I always finish up this side with my foil shaver, but this is literally the only place that I really use a foil shaver on my African-American clients because it can, you know, cause some damage, especially in this area right here. As you see, I punched in my guideline. I used to do it in a rainbow arch, but now I go straight across, and I leave the sides dark enough for me to come back with my Gamma Instincts and actually start my next guideline up about a 1/2 inch above that one, the bald line. And then I use 0.5 to clean up the sides, which leaves it still dark enough to line up in the end. Now, once I get to this point, which is about the halfway point and the 0.5 guide, I use my Gamma Instincts with the one guard on there to kind of debulk with the grain, which leaves me some space to go ahead and start doing my blending process. You want to make sure that you're brushing and you're combing and you're doing what you need to do in this area to find that direction. Once I get to this point and I'm sure that the blend is in, you know, I want to go with the grain and against the grain, and I want to work it in a way that brings this blend together, and I always finish up with my razor comb. After I've gotten everything else together, I'm freehanding with this with the lever closed, taking out that transition area and bringing some more shape to the back of the nape. Now, right here, I went ahead and switched to my A-lines, which are new trimmer by Wall. And yes, they do look a lot like the Slimline Pros. I definitely wanted to test them out. So I have these zero gap. And I always start my lineups in the middle and go to the left and right. And I want to step back and get the full picture and line the corners on both sides up. I use this particular trimmer right here because he has short vertical bars. And I didn't want to mess with his eyebrows or anything like that. and punch in the mustache. I like to clean it up with this A-line because, you know, it's quite small. And then I do the bulk of the work on the goatee with my T-shaper. Instead of using a water spray bottle, I use my hydro steamer. I got this when I went through the ABS course with Morono. And I use this to moisturize prior to using my curl sponge to achieve this look. Now right here, this is my process for enhancing. I like to use my barber pencil, and I always follow up my dye enhancements with fiber enhancements to give it some kind of texture, because, you know, if not, it'll kind of shine through. This gives it more of a natural appearance overall. Of course, you want to hit it with the blow dryer at the end to lock in the fibers and lock in the look. I use my T-shapers to finish it off. Now, I always finish up one of these styles by debulking and sharpening up the sides and the fringe, because it adds to the overall look. This is an added detail that people notice. All right, guys, check out the final result of this cut. Highly detailed taper. He was elated. He looked good and ready for prom. He even took home some cologne. And this is honestly what I do this for, moments like these. Get my man ready for prom. Big thanks for watching, folks. If I skipped anything or if you got questions, hit me up in the comment section. And don't miss out on my full review of the T-Shaper Recharge. The link is right here. Until next time, stay sharp. Legacy out.
No, they don't do it like this no more. Legacy, legacy, legacy. You know it's all about the legacy, legacy.